There are very special performances for you, and we will also be having a panel discussion today. So stay tuned and have an amazing time. The very first performer that we have today is a student that has been associated with Literary Society for quite some time and has been consistently performing at the Literary Showcase. Without any further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Mrityunjay Reddy over to the virtual stage.
A very good evening, Ishmat, and a very good evening to all those who will be watching today's literary showcase. And greetings to all the panel members present today. So today it's a very beautiful evening, and I really want to thank the Literary Society for giving these opportunities day in and day out, so that we could, be in the touch. We should not lose the touch, and that's what matters. So today I am here to recite a poem. And actually, today there was something else I wanted to do, but today in the morning I read a very beautiful quote. These days I've been reading a book. It's the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi. You must know about it, the experiments with microbes. So there was a quote in that book, and the quote was that live as if there was no tomorrow, and learn as if there was forever. While I read this quote, I actually got a little back in time when I first read the poem "Stopping by Words on a Snowy Evening" by Robert Frost. This poem reminds me about how we should not give up, because it tells us that life is not about destination. The journey is actually the destination, and we cannot stop by and glance and take a look and waste time. It's about moving on. It's about exploring. So, with that being said, I would like to recite this piece by Robert Frost, "Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy." Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He might not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Well, before I pass on to Ishmet, there's one thing that I would like to tell you all about this poem is that when Robert Frost wrote this poem, he was actually the rider who who was on the horse, and it was an inspiration that he got while he was riding that horse, and he was traveling by snowy villages. So he realized the fact that life is a journey, and at often times what happens that we stop by and we are in the moment, we enjoy the beautiful moment, and we forget that there is a lot left to explore. So he wrote this poem in the memory and in a way to tell people that we should keep on exploring, because the time we have is very short. So that was it. Over to you, Ishmael.
Thank you so much, Mrityunjay. That was indeed a lovely performance. And before you go, I would like to ask you about how has your experience been at the Literary Society?
Yet indeed another wonderful question, Ishmael, and thank you for that question, because believe me, if something that's more, I would say that the most memorable thing that has ever happened to me is the Literary Society, because a lot has happened, and I became a member of the Literary Society in the last year, November, month of November, and since then my life has been a roller coaster, because even every now and then I can see myself hosting events, and just a year back, if I look at myself, actually I was nothing. So I could and now, and some days at nights I see myself on Instagram handles, and I see myself on Facebook, and it's something that I still I'm quite staggered, because it's something I was not a year back, and I'm really proud of that. And I have to thank Literary Society for it, Vaishali ma'am for it, because it's all because of the opportunities they give. Thank you very much.
Well, indeed, being a part of Literary Society is definitely a very interesting and amazing experience. Thank you so much, Mrityunjay, for joining us and for your lovely performance. Ladies and gentlemen, next up, we have yet another talented member of the Literary Society for you. I request Miss Ria Rai to kindly turn on their camera.
Very good evening, Ishmael, and to everyone present here. Today, I'm here to recite a poem which was written by me, but I'm not that much into a poem writer, but I'm not a poet. Still, but there are times when we catch up a feeling, a moment of time where we get into the topics that we don't know about, but we get words into it and then we quote it down. And here I am today with the poem named Majbooriyan, and it is a Hindi poem. Shall start it with like एक जिंदगी जीने का ख्वाब लिया था एक जिंदगी जीने का ख्वाब लिया था सारे गमों को खुशियों में बदलने का हिसाब भी किया था इस सफर की सवारी तो मेरी दौलत से भी महंगी थी पर कोई नहीं मैंने उसका भी जुगाड़ किया था उस मंजिल की पटरियों पे एक खूबसूरत सी चीज देखी मैंने उस मंजिल की पटरियों पे एक खूबसूरत सी चीज देखी मैंने वहां खुशियों का भंडार लगा था पर शायद दूसरी तरफ की खिड़की से देखना भूल गई मैं वहां तो दुखों का भी कारोबार जमा था अचानक ख्याल ये आया कि जब बस्ता मेरा एक ही है तो बोझ भारी क्यों लग रहा जब पलट कर देखा तो पता चला कि मजबूरियों का काफिला मेरे साथ आया था इस सफर की खुशी ने मेरी हंसी को इस चेहरे से कभी जुदा न होने दिया इसीलिए उन मजबूरियों को मैंने अपने अंदर ही समाया ख्वाबों में तो मेरे छोटे से मकान से मेरे बड़े से समंदर की ओर जो रास्ता था वो बहुत ही हसीन था पर था तो वो हकीकत के कुछ पलों का साया अब क्या कहूँ हुजूर इसने तो हर एक चाहतों को हसरतों में बदल दिया था जाने अनजाने में तकदीर ने यूं फासला बढ़ा लिया कि इस सफर को तो मुकम्मल नहीं कर पाई मैं पर मजबूरियों ने जिंदगी में क्या खूब सिला दिया हुआ कुछ यूं कि अगले मकाम पे मुझे उतरना पड़ा क्योंकि अब फकत ख्वाहिशों से ज्यादा ये सफर मजबूरियों का गुलाम बन चुका था अब लौट के जाऊं तो किस उम्मीद से अब लौट के जाऊं तो किस उम्मीद से कल को अगर एक कासिद मेरे ना आने का पैगाम लेकर आए तो खफा ना होना यारो क्योंकि ए जिंदगी तेरी मजबूरियों ने मुझे हरा दिया तेरी मजबूरियों ने मुझे हरा दिया so this was a poem which actually reminded me of a time when people are aimed towards their destination. They have their goals set, they have their perfect path, they know how to travel through it. But then we face consequences, and life doesn't go as we've decided. So it is a condition of a person describing how the journey of success is sometimes not attained by us.
Definitely, Ria, that was indeed a very beautiful performance and quite strong words, I must say. Before you go, I would like to ask you, I believe this was the first time that you've been performing on behalf of the Literary Society. I would like to know how was the experience for you? What motivated you to join Literary Society as a member?
Exactly. This is my very first time I'm performing on behalf of Literary Society, and I must say that is a beautiful opportunity that I have got because I have always dreamt of being a speaker from Literary Society and showcasing my skills on this platform. And once I get this opportunity, it's no doubt that I won't stop getting being here and representing my skills.
Definitely, Ria. We are too more than glad to have you with us. And ladies and gentlemen, if you too want to be a part of Literary Society, just like our performees are today, go and register yourself through your UMS accounts and join us very soon. Thank you so much, Ria, for your performance. And ladies and gentlemen, next up, we have a fresher that has been performing so consistently right from the very first few days of being at the university. Without any further delay, I want to welcome Ms. Deeksha Gaur, who will be reciting a poem on Ahimsa or Vishwa Shanti.
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार मैं दीक्षा गौर आपके सामने एक कविता प्रस्तुत करने जा रही हूँ। ये कविता मैंने खुद लिखी है मगर ये मेरी पहली कविता है तो ये कुछ इस प्रकार है। इंसानों की भीड़-भाड़ में कहीं इंसानियत को खो रहे हैं हम। इंसानों की भीड़-भाड़ में कहीं इंसानियत को खो रहे हैं हम। क्यों कुछ अन्याय होता देख क्यों कुछ अन्याय होता देख मुँह मोड़ ले रहे हैं हम। क्यों यह सोचते हैं कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं, जबकि हम ही तो हैं जो कुछ कर सकते हैं। आज 4 लोगों की कहानी में 40 ज़िंदगियाँ बर्बाद हो रही हैं। आज 4 लोगों की कहानी में 40 ज़िंदगियाँ बर्बाद हो रही हैं। इंसान और इंसानियत के बीच की दूरियाँ बढ़ती जा रही हैं। शक्ल वही है दुनिया की शक्ल वही है दुनिया की मगर शख्सियत बदलती जा रही है। कहते हैं कि दुनिया में केवल 2 प्रकार के लोग होते हैं, अच्छे और बुरे। मगर यदि हम अच्छे तो क्या फ़र्क कौन बुरा और यदि हम बुरे तो दुनिया में कोई अच्छा ही नहीं। दूसरों को दोष देना नहीं, हमें खुद को बदलना है। अपने रूखे जीवन में सच्चाई और अच्छाई को अपनाना है। अहिंसा जीवन का वह पाठ है जो हमें जीना सिखाएगा। हिंसा से कुछ हासिल नहीं होता, यह हमें बतलाएगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Diksha. That was an amazing performance and very beautiful words. And I haven't really heard you speaking in Hindi or performing in Hindi before. So I would like to know that why was this side of you hidden from us for so long?
Well, you see, I was feeling very insecure about speaking in Hindi because this is the first time I've written something. So I thought कि चलो अभी क्या मतलब इससे अच्छा मौका कौन सा मिलेगा. So that's why, yeah.
Definitely, definitely. In fact, to be very honest, Diksha, the very first time that I performed in Hindi or wrote something on a particular topic in Hindi for a particular competition, it was because of Literary Society. So I believe that is what makes Literary Society different from all the other organizations, is that it motivates students to explore their unexplored side.
Indeed, yes, that is very true.
Yes. Thank you so much, Diksha, for your performance. We will have you again for the panel discussion.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our next performee to enter the virtual stage. Please welcome Miss Aditi Dwivedi, who will be reciting a poem on Meri Ma.
आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। मेरा नाम अदिति द्विवेदी है और आज मैं आप सभी के सामने एक कविता प्रस्तुत करूंगी जो है मेरी माँ। ये कविता मेरे दिल के बहुत ही करीब है, तो यहाँ मैं शुरू करती हूँ। क्या खता थी मेरी जो मेरी माँ की रूह उससे जुदा कर दी तूने खुदा। क्या जरूरत थी उस रूह को मुझे देने की, कुछ पल तो जीने देता उसके साथ मुझे। नन्ही सी जान हूं मैं, कैसे कहूंगी अपने दर्द को इस जालिम जमाने से। अरे पापा के प्यारी थी वो और मेरी माँ, मैं उसकी कोई खता नहीं थी। फिर भी ये जमाना मुझे 10 ताने देगा और कहेगा अपनी ही माँ को खा गई। डर लगता है कि कहीं पापा भी ना रूठ जाए मुझसे। माफ कर दे, लौटा दे उसे, मुझे नहीं आना इस दुनिया में। वैसे ही तूने इस दुनिया को बहुत खुदगर्ज बना दिया और अब खुद भी बन गया। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Aditi. That was a brilliant, brilliant performance indeed. And
थैंक
I would
यू।
like to ask you that what year are you in right now?
What year I am right now? I didn't get you actually.
I mean, are you a first year student, a second year
Yeah,
student,
I'm
a
a
third?
first year student.
Oh, so you too are a fresher, just like Diksha.
Yes, exactly.
So I would like to know, how has the overall experience been for you over here, since you are very new to the university and you've already started performing so well.
It's just wow or amazing for me, and I'm getting ample of opportunities here to present my skill and just getting the feedback for those performances as well. This is what I actually want in my life, and I'm getting, so this is something very a golden gate for me for my career as well.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much, Aditi, for
Thank
your
you.
amazing words and your performance as well. We will see you again for the panel discussion. And next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Aryan Sachdeva from the Literary Society who will be reciting a poem on Hindustan Ki Khatir. Aryan, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible and visible? Please let me know. Because there is a network glitch going on here. Okay, I am visible. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Aryan Sachdeva and I am back with the same poetry, Hindustan Ki Khatir, because what I feel, it gives a message that we need to focus on right now also. I wrote this in lockdown 1 and abhi त्योहारों का मौसम है, as Honorable Prime Minister also mentioned 2 days ago in a meeting with the countrymen that it's a season of festivals and we need to take care and think twice, thrice before going outside. And if we need to go outside, we need to wear a mask. Also, maintain social distancing. So, अगर आपने ये पोएम पहले सुनी है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, और अगर सुनी है और इस पे अमल नहीं किया है तो it is high time to focus on the message of the poem. And the poem is like this. हिंदुस्तान की खातिर बस कुछ दिन और हमें घर में ही रहना है. हिंदुस्तान की खातिर बस कुछ दिन और हमें घर में ही रहना है. वो पुलिस वाला पूछ रहा मैंने तुम्हारे खातिर अपने बच्चों को किए वादे तोड़ दिए और तुमने मुझ पर ही पत्थर मार दिए. पापा आज मत जाओ ना, मेरे बेटे का ये कहना है हिंदुस्तान की खातिर बस कुछ दिन और हमें घर में ही रहना है. वो डॉक्टर भी है कह रहा उसके घर वाले उसके दर्शन को तरसे फिर चाहे अस्पताल में कितने ही मरीज बरसे. उसने न जाने कितनी और रातें अस्पताल में ही रहना है. हिंदुस्तान की खातिर बस कुछ दिन और हमें घर में ही रहना है. वो सफाई कर्मी भी पूछ रहा मैं तो निकला सड़कों पे मेरी तो थी मजबूरी. तुम्हारा निकलना कितना जरूरी था कि तुम न रख पाए सामाजिक दूरी. मैंने साफ किए तुम्हारे आंगन खुद के घर से दूर मुझे रहना है. हिंदुस्तान की खातिर बस कुछ दिन और हमें घर में ही रहना है. Thank you so much, everyone.
That was a stellar performance, Aryan, and your words were quite right for the hour that we are in right now. I really want to know what is it that inspires you to write poems.
Honestly, when I get opportunity to write, it is Vaishali ma'am who motivates me to write the poem, and eventually I got this hidden part of myself as a gift from Vaishali ma'am. So yes, I got opportunities, I wrote the poems, and I'm sitting in front of you.
Very well. So, do you see doing such things in the future as well, or is it just something that you do in the time that you have free?
I did it in the time when I was free, but right now I am loving writing poems because I think that speaking in such a way gives a message to people and it touches more hearts, more brains.
Definitely. Very rightly said. And I wish you all the very best for everything that you do in the future. I'm sure it'll be quite amazing. I've seen you, doing the hard work for the past year and a half that I've known you. And I really wish you all the very best. And we will have you again for the panel discussion.
Thank you so much, and same for you. Same wishes.
Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, next up we have the performee who will be performing a poem on Vande Mataram, and the poem will be performed by Mr. Harsh Midhavi. I request Harsh to take over the virtual stage.
Yeah, thank you, Ishmi. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, Harsh, you're perfectly audible and visible.
ठीक है। नमस्कार मेरे सभी दर्शकों को, नमस्कार मेरे सभी साथियों को। आज मैं हर्ष मेधावी आप सभी के समक्ष एक कविता लेकर प्रस्तुत हुआ हूँ, जिसका शीर्षक वंदे मातरम है। लेकिन इस कविता में कुछ ऐसी भावना हिडन है जो कि कभी आप सभी के सामने आई नहीं है। मैं आज बात करने वाला हूँ कुछ उन लोगों के बारे में जो इस देश में अभी रह नहीं रहे हैं, लेकिन इस देश के ही निवासी हैं। मेरा मतलब है एनआरआई का, कि जब इंडिपेंडेंस डे आता है तो उन लोगों को अपने देश की याद कैसे आती होगी। ये एक ऐसा टॉपिक है, एक ऐसा विषय है जिसके बारे में कई लोग नहीं बात करते, लेकिन उन्हें अपने देश से प्यार है। तो ये कुमार विश्वास की एक रचना है, एंड मैं आज आप सभी के समक्ष उनकी ये रचना आप सभी के समक्ष प्रस्तुत करने जा रहा हूँ। तो मैं शुरुआत करता हूँ कि हर एक खोने, हर एक पाने में तेरी याद आती है, नमक आंखों में घुल जाने में तेरी याद आती है, तेरी अमृत भरी लहरों को क्या मालूम गंगा माँ। कवि कहते हैं कि तेरी अमृत भरी लहरों को क्या मालूम गंगा माँ, समंदर पार वीराने में तेरी याद आती है, समंदर पार वीराने में तेरी याद आती है, कि हर एक खाली पड़े आलिंद, आलिंद मतलब वो सारी चीजें जो आप पीछे छोड़ आए हैं, हर एक खाली पड़े आलिंद तेरी याद आती है, सुबह के ख्वाब के मानिंद तेरी याद आती है, हेलो हे हाय सुनकर तो नहीं आती मगर हमसे, हेलो हे हाय सुनकर तो नहीं आती मगर हमसे, कोई कहता है जब जय हिंद तेरी याद आती है। और मैं आखिरी चार पंक्तियां बोलना चाहूंगा कि किसी का कद बढ़ा देना, किसी को कद का कम कहना। हम एक दूसरे का मजाक उड़ाते रहते हैं, लेकिन हम जो चीज ध्यान देनी चाहिए वो ये है कि किसी का कद बढ़ा देना, किसी को कद का कम कहना, हमें आता नहीं ना मोहतरम को मोहतरम कहना, चले चलते हैं मिलजुल कर वतन पर जान देते हैं। और ये आखिरी पंक्ति बोलने जा रहा हूँ, तो अगर अच्छी लगे तो कमेंट सेक्शन में देश के लिए प्यार दिखा देना कि चले चलते हैं मिलजुल कर वतन पर जान देते हैं, बहुत आसान है कमरे से, बहुत आसान है लॉकडाउन में वंदे मातरम कहना। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Harsh, for such a beautiful and amazing performance. It was really, really amazing to hear you. And look at you, you're dressed so crisp and so fantastic. Please unmute yourself. Yes,
Yeah,
I would love to have a little chat with you. So, Harsh, you said such beautiful words. I want to know that how did you first get associated? How did you first get associated with literature and this field?
yeah, personally because of my schooling, I'm having a defense background. So as you know, you all know that when we are having such a background, we need to perform everywhere because it is on our pride that you must perform. And I feel that literary this part is something which helps us, which enables us to speak up, which helps us to motivate others also, and also get influenced by other peoples like you also.
Definitely, definitely. Plus, I believe that literature and poems, speeches, proses, all of these things help you even channelize the thoughts that you have in your head, and they give you a better way to escape the reality and the monotonous ways of lives.
Yes, for sure.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Harsh, for your performance. I will have you back for the panel discussion that we will be having right after the individual performances.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, the performer that is coming up next is a very dear friend of mine and is definitely a very amazing poet who has been writing poetries all along the lockdown and has been executing them quite beautifully. Please welcome over the virtual stage Miss Aditi Thakur, who will be reciting a poem on Kanya ki Atmakatha.
नमस्कार आप सभी को। नमस्कार इश्मित। मैं दुआ करती हूँ और मैं आशा करती हूँ कि आप सभी ठीक हैं। जितने भी लोग आज मुझे देख पा रहे हैं यहाँ पर, वो ये तो जान ले कि मैं तो बिल्कुल ससुरक्षित बैठी हूँ अपने घर में। और आज जो कविता मैं कहने जा रही हूँ, जो मैं आपको सुनाने जा रही हूँ, वो है एक कन्या की आत्मकथा। ऐसी कविताएं मैं बहुत कम लिखती हूँ क्योंकि मुझसे लिखी ही नहीं जाती। इतना सच इस कविता में है, इतना सत्य ना मैंने कभी महसूस किया अपने अंदर और ना कभी देखा। पर इस दफे आज जो मैं कविता आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करने जा रही हूँ, वो कुछ इस प्रकार है। मैं क्या कहूँ, मैं क्या लिखूं, मैं क्या कहूँ, मैं क्या लिखूं, मैं स्तब्ध हूं, निशब्द हूं। ये बेड़ियां या पायलें मैं कैदियों सी जी रही, तेरे अंत की लकीर का प्रारंभ मैं प्रारब्ध हूं। ये क्रांति की इब्तिदा कहे जो आज आग है, मैं हर शहर की आस्था ये द्वंद्व का प्रयाग है। तू क्या कहे मैं क्या सुनूं, तू क्या कहे मैं क्या सुनूं, तू जन्म से जिया सही हृदय तेरा मरा हुआ, तू मानवों की जाति में पला बड़ा विराग है कट गई हर उस क्षण जब जिह्वा मेरी बोलती, तू चाहे या मना करे ये राज तेरे खोलती। ये प्रश्न मैंने है किया, जवाब दे तू या न दे। ये गंदगी, ये गंदगी विचार की तू अपने मन से दे हटा, ये खून बेकसूर का तू अपने कर से दे छुटा। मैं मान लूं खुदा बसे हैं हर हृदय में, मैं मान लूं शिवा बसे हैं हर हृदय में। ये प्रश्न ना तो प्रार्थना समझ मेरी, ये प्रश्न ना तो प्रार्थना समझ मेरी। मैं तितलियों से उड़ पड़ूं, मैं आसमां में खिल पड़ूं। इस घृणा को दे तू अंत कर खत्म, इसे तू दे मिटा। समझ कि तेरी आत्मा, समझ कि तेरी आत्मा ये काया पंच तत्व है। तू मिट्टी से ही आया है, तू राख हो ही जाएगा। यही है अंतिम कायदा, यही प्रथम रिवाज है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Aditi. That was quite a scintillating performance, I must say, indeed. Having known you personally, I know what an amazing poet that you are, and it was truly amazing to hear you again. Aditi, I would like to ask you that you are in the third year in the university, and I'm sure in the past 3 years you might have learned a lot of new skills. You might have enhanced your literary skills a lot. So I would like to know your overall experience that you've had at the university.
देखिए, कहानी तो शुरू होती है सेकेंड ईयर में। फर्स्ट ईयर में तो आई वॉज नॉट दैट एक्टिव, मैंने इतना कोई पार्टिसिपेशन किया नहीं। सेकेंड ईयर में जब मैं आई तो मुझे कहना नहीं चाहिए, बट आपके जैसे दोस्त मिले, काफी मेंटर्स मिले, हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी के सीनियर एंकर्स जिनके साथ मैं हूँ अभी भी। आज वैशाली मैम का समर्थन मेरे साथ है, मैम मेरे पीछे हमेशा खड़ी हुई है। तो ये जो जर्नी रही है मेरी, मैं इसमें अब तक तो बहुत सक्सेसफुल रही हूँ और आगे भी आप सभी की दुआ से मैं जानती हूँ कि आप मुझे आगे बढ़ाते रहेंगे। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
अवश्य अदिति, मैं आपका हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूँ आज हमारे हमारे समक्ष आपकी प्रस्तुति प्रस्तुत करने के लिए, और आशा करता हूँ कि मुझे जितनी टूटी फूटी हिंदी आती है वो आप एक्सेप्ट करेंगी। थैंक यू सो मच। वी विल हैव यू अगेन फॉर द पैनल डिस्कशन।
धन्यवाद आपका।
And ladies and gentlemen, if you too wish to be a part of Literary Society, please go and register yourselves from your UMS accounts, because no matter what year you are in right now, we definitely have a spot for you. And moving forward to the next performance of today, we have Madam Reshma, who will be presenting her views on the topic, "Do Schools Kill Creativity?" Madam Reshma, over to you.
Well, magnificent. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much to Lovely Professional University, Literary Society, and to Sir Ishmael for bestowing me this wonderful opportunity. And yet, here I am with one more topic. Do schools kill creativity? Most of us would have heard, or at least some of us would have heard, that art, writing, singing, music, theater, etc., wouldn't get us more guilt in our pockets, right? But the thing is, people always wanted to learn the things which were already known, like doctor, engineering, chartered accountants, and also these things are having better labels in society. And also, I'm not blaming parents here, because as a parent, they will be always wanting the top notch for their children, right? But imagine if creativity and education were given equal significance, with people who are already interested in these fields like theater, writing, speaking, etc., etc., would have had a lot of colossal opportunities and also better employment, right? I'm not wrong in that. And but to be honest, creativity should also be treated equally as education. Like I've had a lot of school seniors and also classmates who were holders of 9.5 plus CGPA, but they did not get into good colleges and they are not getting those colossal opportunities in life. Why? Because they were good academically only. That was the issue. So creativity should also be treated equally as education. And also, to be honest, from my side itself, I'm an artist, and even I have heard that thing like, why are you being an artist when you have this education in your life? And I did not listen to them, and I did not stop, because it's also a creative side. No, education will not be the only thing that will be providing gelt in your pocket, and that's going to make you happy, right? So with this, I'm ultimately concluding that education and creativity both should be given equal significance and should be treated equally. Thank you, Yushma.
Definitely, Reshma. Those were quite strong and true words, I must say. I would like to ask you, Reshma, since you said you too are an artist yourself. If we look at the educational institutes that we have in our country, we will notice that the creative courses have far more less students as compared to, be it engineering, business, journalism, or any mainstream course for that matter. Since
Yeah.
you have been an artist, I'm sure you must have been witness to this humongous gap that exists. And I do want to know that why do you think that this gap exists?
Because somewhere students are being forced into take specifically engineering and doctor, to be honest, and specifically engineering. Like I see a strength in engineering what course, like, and it's like numerous, and I'm like, how come engineering has this much students? So somewhere students are being forced, and somewhere students are not knowing what they want because of the education system. Like, for example, if we say in CBSE, like you're supposed to study science from 6th to 10th grade, and right now it has been changed, but previously I'm telling. So even I myself was interested in commerce only. So I wanted to get in commerce in 8th grade. If I was in ICSE syllabus, I would have gotten into commerce in 8th grade, right? So as I was in CBSE, I was not able to get into the field I wanted back in 8th grade. So it's also a issue of education system, and some way students are being forced, and some way students are not knowing what they want. So yeah.
Definitely, that is absolutely correct on your part. And I do hope and believe that in the future we will have a better opportunities for our youngsters and we will have a better system put in place. Thank you so much, Reshma, for joining us. And
Yeah, thank you so
with this,
much.
ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the individual performance for the evening. And now we will be moving forward to a very interesting segment, which is the panel discussion. And the topic for today's panel discussion is, should betting and gambling be legalized in India? I repeat, the topic is, should betting and gambling be legalized in India? Let's see what our intellectual minds in the house today have to say on this topic. I would first like to call upon Ms. Ria Rai to present her views on the given motion.
A very good evening, people, once again. And the topic is says that betting and gambling should be legalized in India or not. So, talking about this topic, I feel like there's always two faces of a coin. Okay, so in any case, we have to know that there can't be pros particularly for a thing and cons for particularly for a thing. So, just a second, Ishmit, there's some error, I guess.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe there is some technical glitch from Ms. Ria's end, and we will come back to her views. Till then, let's move forward with Ms. Diksha Gaur and see what she has to say on the given motion, which is should betting and gambling be legalized in India? Diksha, over to you.
Yeah, very good evening once again. Uh, I am in favor of legalizing betting and gambling in India, but the one thing we should take care of is regulating it. Like legalizing is okay, but we should also regulate it. We should set up a government authority to take care of all these things, because there are many pros of legalizing gambling and betting in India, because uh, it is banned, it is illegal now, but even though it is illegal, many people practice it, so it generates a lot of black money, right? So but if we legalize it, then that money would be called white money, and with regulations and laws and rules and an authority watching over it, these money could be helpful for the people as well and for the nation as well. So I agree that betting and gambling should be legalized in India.
Well, definitely, Diksha. Regulation over something can truly be empowering and can be the right measure to go forward with. We will come back to you for the conclusion. And ladies and gentlemen, next up, I would like to call Miss Aditi Dwivedi over the virtual stage.
A very good evening to one and all once again. So, for this topic, I am in favor. According to me, if we bring the transparency into this, then it will create a fear into the ones, those who are doing wrong in betting and gambling. And I think IT will help us to bring a transparency into betting and gambling, which is literally giving a lot of revenue to the government, is approximately of 12,000 to 19,000 crore. So according to me, it should be legalized. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aditi, for your views. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe Miss Ria is back with us. So, Ria, if you would like to continue what you were saying.
Yes, Ashmit, sorry. Sorry for the inconvenience caused by my side. And actually, I was saying that everything has a pro and a con. So, when we talk about betting and gambling, there's always a question on the integrity of sports being played in India. There are games like horse riding and horse races. These are, officially used to be done in betting and gambling in many of the countries. But here, why can't we talk about betting and gambling in our own country? Is that betting and gambling is a different term, and fixation is another term. When people go into betting and gambling, the players are somewhat enrolled in match fixation. And if this happens, there's a strong question on the integrity of sports being played. And if this is happening, then the national integrity of our country is harmed. And therefore, I think that betting and gambling shouldn't be involved in any kind of sports in our country.
Definitely, Ria, aptly said. And to all the panelists who are remaining, I would like to put this one question for you to ponder upon. As we are discussing that should it be legalized or not, and since we are discussing it, it is quite obvious that it is not legalized. But don't you think that the casinos that we have all around some particular states in India, we have so many apps on available on different mobile platforms such as Play Store, App Store, Windows, etc., such as Dream 11 for that matter, wherein people try to somehow place their intuitions by placing some money and expecting something is in return. Don't you think that that too is some sort of betting and gambling? With this thought, I would like to call upon the next panelist on the floor. I would request Mr. Aryan Sachdeva to kindly join me.
Am I visible, Ishmit?
Yes, you are.
The question you raised a moment before, the same I was going to ask from other panelists. And first of all, I would like to congratulate the person who is selecting the topics for the panel discussions, because they are really amazing. If it is you, Ishmit, then it is a really sensitive topic. And daily we are discussing on those topics that need attention from the government. And these need to be changed, and they should be molded for the present times. So the first question is that first point from my side is that the Public Gambling Act of 1867, noted down 1867, is a central law that prohibits running or being in charge of a public gambling house. And in this act, nothing has been mentioned about online gambling. There have been many courts who have refused banning these online gambling sites just by saying that there is nothing mentioned in this Public Gambling Act. How it can be mentioned in that if it was made at the time of 1867, when there was no internet, no online sites, not even a single online site, I think so, there was there. So how could be online betting possible? So this needs to be molded if you think that it should be illegal. Second thing, that if it is illegal in India, then why there are casinos open in Goa, Daman and Diu, and Sikkim? This is a very important question, that these three states or union territories are allowing to open casinos. Yes, they are part of India, and if India does not allow public gambling, then how can they open casinos in their states? And third point is that Maharashtra government, according to Bombay Wager Act, has not allowed online gambling. That is banned in Maharashtra. But when I talk about Dream 11, or there are a lot of sites or apps we can see in the game of cricket that are allowing betting on their sites. So there are so many questions and nothing can be defined properly what is going on. And what do you mean by online gambling is banned? If you are not banning Dream 11 or these sites, then what is online gambling? And you are saying that these are game of skills. Then we daily see in newspapers कि 4 लोग सट्टा लगाते हुए पकड़े गए. तो उन्होंने भी कुछ दिमाग लगाया होगा, तभी उन्होंने सट्टा लगाया कि ये प्लेयर अभी क्रीज पे है, वो 4 रन मार सकता है. Why would I bet for Bumrah hitting a 6? I'll not do that. Then that is also a game of skills. फिर आप उनको कैसे investigate कर सकते हो and arrest कर सकते हो? This is the question, that nothing is properly clear in this act. This has to be changed, and the point should be clear for the citizens कि गवर्नमेंट चाहती क्या है, एंड उनका पॉइंट क्या है, कि वो बैन करना चाहते हैं या नहीं करना चाहते हैं, एंड व्हाट आर द पॉइंट्स की एग्जैक्टली कि चाहते क्या है. दैट इज द ओनली पॉइंट.
Definitely, Aryan. What you said is definitely something that we all need to ponder upon. The things that the political organizations that are running this country need to ponder upon, because these questions are something that if university level students can understand the gravity of such concepts, I am pretty sure that the people who are sitting in power definitely understand how grave this can be, and how preposterous it is to not have proper laws even after so many years of them being established. Thank you so much, Aryan. I would call you back for the conclusion. And ladies and gentlemen, next up, I would like to call for the panel discussion Mr. Harsh Midhavi.
Yeah, thank you, Ishmat. And good evening, everyone, yet again. So a lot of discussions were being made of Dream 11 on all these apps. I would like to put some light over this, that the companies, what they are doing, since as Aryan has said very rightly, that there is a lot of confusion regarding this. These games are termed as strategic games, and by this they are trying to escape all the rules that were made way back earlier. So first and foremost, these laws must be reformed. And as far as this much is concerned, that whether it should be legalized or not, I personally feel it should not. And I am having very strong reasons for it. Because if you're seeing that we should have a strong regulation sort of something, so yeah, dekho, regulation, when you're talking about regulation, drink and drive cases ka example lo. You're allowing people to drink and you're saying that, okay, do it in regulation and there would be no accident. So it is something like that. And moreover, another point what I would like to suggest here is that nowadays people are dying in loans. They're not able to pay back their loans. So what if those people gets this opportunity to have a betting in a legal way? They would for sure try it for their luck, because they need to survive. And they'll think that यार अब तो वैसे ही मरे हुए हैं, अगर ट्राई करते हैं हो गया तो अच्छी बात है, नहीं हो गया तो क्या करेंगे? They'll commit even more suicides. So that is why I feel that these things should not be legalized.
Definitely, Harsh, you are quite right. And to be very honest, if we look at these applications as you spoke about, if we look at Dream 11, Mobile Premier League, or anything and the advertisements that they place out to the society, we would see that they promote, they try to motivate the individuals to join their particular platform and start using them by luring them through things like I won so and so amount of cash on by this app, I won so and so amount of rewards on this app. And as you rightly said, for people who are in financial needs, this can be a mousetrap for them. So definitely that is something that we need to think about. And ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to call the next panelist. I request Madam Aditi Thakur to join me.
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। और पहले मैं अपना पॉइंट रखते हुए ये चीज कहनी चाहती हूँ कि गैम्बलिंग शुड नॉट बी लीगलाइज्ड इन इंडिया, बेटिंग एंड गैम्बलिंग बोथ। क्योंकि देखिए, पहली बात तो ये बहुत अडिक्टिव होता है। इट्स नॉट सॉर्ट ऑफ समथिंग दैट यू कैन डू ऑन डेली बेसिस। आप अलग अलग एक्टिविटीज में अलग अलग टाइप से बेटिंग एंड गैम्बलिंग करेंगे एंड दैट वुड इंड्यूस इनटू अ हैबिट। तो ये चीज तो लीगलाइज बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए। And now I'll be putting forth 3 points to answer your question, Ishmit, the question you had posed. Pehli baat, there's a basic difference between betting and gambling. Gambling is like done in a casino where like we talked about a casino, right? And betting is done in the sports. Betting is sort of a two-person activity. It's sort of a contract. And gambling is just a generic term used for betting. The second point is about the online gambling. Online gambling is in its infancy in India right now, as of now. When we talk about the laws, the law that is the third point, the Public Gambling Act 1867. If we talk about the laws, if we closely look towards the parliamentary laws of India, we have the state list and the union list. The question that why do Goa and Sikkim allow, that solely depends upon their state government. That comes under their state list. And coming back to the second point, online gambling is really in its infancy right now. Not much of the people know about it. Even the common people who are on Dream 11 or Ace23, as many as platforms we can consider, they are not yet aware that they are into something illegal. That's what the biggest problem lies. So these were my points. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Thakur, for your point of view. Since you are from a legal background, I do have one thing that I wish to ask you regarding the casinos that we have up in Goa.
Yeah.
If we've noticed that most of these casinos are, around the beaches or in waters, they are on ships. Do you think it has to do something related to being placed in international waters so that the rules do not get applicable to them? I mean, honestly, I do not really know of the legalities behind this, so I would really like to know from you.
Like, see, you cannot go to the international waters without their permission, right? There has to be there are limits to the sea borders as well. Up to 200 nautical miles from India, the sea is ours. And we can go and party. That does not come under international waters. And 200 nautical miles is way too much just to have a party on a ship or on a cruise, exactly as we can say. So money making is the sole purpose. Like, people go to the beaches, have party, and then the casinos grab money from them. That's their earning point. That is how they earn. So yeah, that's the money making thing. And it has no relation to international waters as such of now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Thakur. And ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to move towards the international debater that we have in the house. I request Ms. Reshma to kindly turn on their camera and present her views on what she has to say about the given motion.
Yeah, I personally think it should be legalized because I have two valid points. One thing is, in societal perspective, it's considered wise, and economical way, it gives a lot of cash inflow for government. So these are like 2 points, but when we take it in a individual perspective and all, obviously it's addictive, and individuals will mostly get addicted to it, honestly. But an individual getting addicted to is their own personal choice, and gambling and betting is also their own personal choice. If they are getting into a trap, it's also they were the one who made the decision, right? So it's their own issues. But when we take upon all these economical and societal views, I think it should be legalized.
All right, Ms. Reshma, thank you so much for your views. I would now like to ask all the panelists if there is someone who would like to voluntarily start with the conclusion part of today's discussion. Yes,
May
Ms.
I
Deeksha,
start?
please go ahead.
All right. So there were some points regarding the addiction and the suicides. But the suicides and addiction is happening even though it is illegal. So when something is happening and we have a chance to transform it into something productive or something which the nation can gain from, then we should take that opportunity. Because when we regularize it, when we add laws and restrictions and an authority presiding over this particular act of gambling and betting, then things will be different, things will not be the same. We don't know which authority regulates this gambling system right now. So keeping this in mind, I think I would like to conclude my thoughts by saying that gambling and betting should be legalized in India. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so much, Ms. Deeksha. And I believe Mr. Sachdeva has something to say.
Yes, Sushmit, the point is that when you buy digital gold, isn't it a gambling? When you buy property, isn't it a gambling? You risk your money, price of gold can rise or it can fall tomorrow. Price of property can rise and fall tomorrow. It is also gambling, and there is no restriction then you can that you cannot buy property above 10 crores, 20 crores. There is no restriction. You can buy property, you can buy digital gold. So why should there be restrictions on gambling? And the only point I would like to make clear is that it should be legalized for the people who are earning for themselves. Like a 16-year boy is betting on the money from the money of his parents. That should not be allowed, because he is not mentally stable right now to do such things. So the answer is yes, it should be legalized, but a certain age or a certain limit should be selected, and there should be no restrictions for the individuals who are doing gambling.
All right, Aryan, thank you so much for your point of view. And since we have already heard two conclusions from people who support that betting and gambling should be legalized, I would like to now ask the panel member who said that it should not be legalized. I would request Ms. Aditi Thakur to present her conclusion on the given topic.
Yeah, like one of the members here said that you have no boundaries, you have no limits to buy lands. First of all, there's a limit of the land you can buy legally. That's 60 acres per person. You cannot have a land for more than 60 acres at your name. And second of all, we are not hitting the core fact over here. In India, the country with the second largest population, if we legalize gambling over here, we are corely missing the factor of the family. आप अगर शांति से बैठकर सोचेंगे इस बारे में, तो अगर आपने गैम्बलिंग चालू कर दी, तो there will be a pressure on people to bet, to place money over something. And that's how people sell their lands. That's how it begins. That's how people start like pressurizing on their family. Ki nahi, I require money. This is like some addiction to liquor. When we hear of a person who is addicted to liquor, his complete family gets destroyed. Even we have seen a few of interviews. Like लोग आप बीती बताते हैं उसमें, तो ऐसा ही कुछ गैम्बलिंग के साथ भी होगा, and that's why it should not be legalized. That's what my point is. Thank you.
Definitely, Ms. Thakur quite rightly said, and I would now like to ask Ms. Reshma about her conclusion on the given take.
Yeah, Ishmael. Yeah, as the 1867 law says, like all kinds of gambling in India are illegal. But as Ian was telling, like Dream 11, also there's this ad I frequently used to get, Rummy, play Rummy online and earn some this amount, this cricketer won this amount. Then why are they like, why aren't they getting rid of these things? Either completely get rid of all the things or completely legalize and have some proper rules and regulations. And if it's going to be legalized, there should be no bamboozling, right? Like in most of the casinos, I mean, in the most of the betting and gambling, like mostly the owners will be winning because they are having some sort of things that are going on which will be not known through the people who are betting or gambling. So most of the times it's like owners who are winning. So if it should be legalized, it should be properly following those rules and regulations. But at the end, I completely support this legalizing of betting and gambling.
Definitely, Madam Reshma, again, rightly said. And I do want to ask the audience a question here that when we see, as Reshma rightly said, that we see a lot of advertisements that promote such applications, and we have renowned celebrities who join hands with these advertisements. Is it something that can actually, if there is a right side to it, and since there are so many people who are supporting, so many big names that are supporting it, maybe there is some righteous side to it, but I'm sure it's like we don't know, obviously. And I would like to now call Miss Ria Rai for her part of the conclusion.
Hello, Ashmit. When we talk about gambling and betting, people here are saying, like Aaron said, that there's no surety when we are buying a plot of land for 5 lakh and it can be sold for 2 lakhs tomorrow, or maybe greater than 5 lakhs tomorrow. So we don't have surety. We are doing things which involves gambling in day-to-day lives. But that is depending upon the liquidity of cash, and it's a property that keeps on changing. If it's changing for a certain thing, there is a balance made, and it will be changing for the sector of people working in a particular people working in a particular sector, be it the official sector they are working. So it will affect them, but not for a longer period of time. Let's say about common people, when they are in
Ishmit, you have muted yourself.
Um, I believe we are facing some technical issue from Ms. Ria's end. Nevertheless, let's move forward to Mr. Harsh Medhavi and see what he has to say for the conclusion.
Yeah, for conclusion, I would like to suggest one point only that people are talking that by legalizing these betting sort of things, we'll get back money. So my only question to them is this: that the steps like demonetization, which are very crisp, those steps were not able to bring back the money. So how would it be? So simply think about this. That's all.
Definitely, very, very, very well said. And I would now like to ask the final panelist who is with us, Miss Aditi Dwivedi, to present her views.
We should take some more time for analyzing it. If India as a country is ready to accept betting as legal in the sports, although it would reduce kind of match fixing and illegal gambling tactics to a great extent, and since it is not in our culture, we should take it forward carefully.
Absolutely. I believe that regulation is definitely necessary in case we legalize it. And this brings us to the end of the panel discussion. I believe Ms. Rai has something that she wants to shed light upon. Over to you, Ria.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, there was a network issue, so I can conclude it. So I was saying that it totally depends upon the liquidity of cash in the market. When we are applying for something in the market solely, we know the outcomes, what we are going to get, or what is like we know either the price will rise or the price will fall. We have to pay for it in that way. We are secured on ourselves. Like prevention is better than cure. We do it. But in case of gambling, the common people are suddenly attracted towards it and fascinating that we'll get an outcome which they don't in most of the cases. So it's a case of lucky draw, and lucky draw is a thing we can't assume that what we'll be getting. So in that case, how can we say that it is perfect for the people? It's leading them to leave the jobs, leave behind their livelihood, spend all their money and income into what they're not supposed to. They're getting addicted to it more and more. Crime rates as well as mental illness do increases just due to gambling and gambling addicts. So how can we say, as Harsh pointed out, that certain issues like the black money, to solve out the black money issue, we had this um, laws, different laws implemented in our country, and even those laws can't shift the status of our country from one place to the better performance. But how can we think that legalizing gambling and betting can lead to a better performance of the overall country?
Definitely, Madam Ria. Thank you so much for your conclusion. And ladies and gentlemen, having this discussion is quite interesting, but at the end of the day, it depends on the people who run the society and the people who run the government and who make laws to decide whether things should actually be legalized or not. People like us can just put forth their opinions about what they feel is right as being a part of the country. With this, I conclude today's showcase. I hope you guys had an amazing time and got to hear from some amazing speakers and witnessed some amazing performance from the Literary Society of Lovely Professional University. Once again, if you wish to join the Literary Society, please go and register yourself on the UMS accounts that you guys have and be a part of Lovely Professional University's Literary Society if you too are interested in literary and if you are interested to hone your literary skills. With this is your host Ishmit Tenge officially signing off, hoping to see you in yet another exciting showcase. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe, and take care.